I'm Miss Liz O, and I have Miss Liz Y with me today.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to The Adventure Continues. So today I'm going to be reading a Choose Your Own Adventure story to you. And what is a Choose Your Own Adventure story, you ask? Those are books that are each written with a second person point of view. That means that the reader takes on the role of the main character and makes choices that are given in the story, and that determines which direction the story goes. So that means that there are multiple endings and multiple stories inside this one book. In our first video in The Adventure Continues, Miss Liz Y read The Haunted House, and I helped make the choices to determine how the story was going to go. So today I'm going to read Return to the Haunted House, and Miss Liz Y is going to be making the choices. All right, here we go. Return to Haunted House. All right, the main person is on the computer, and this is you, and you read Local News Alert. The famous young explorer who solved the mystery of the original haunted house is missing. Click for more details. While you stare at the computer, you've got a funny feeling that this news alert is about you. You were the only one in the neighborhood brave enough to explore a big old house that everybody knew was haunted. You and your dog Homer braved the worst. You faced down ghosts, vampires, demons, and your own fear. Now the original haunted house has been fixed up. It's just a normal house with a family of 6 living in it. That's where the story ended. So what is this news alert about? You aren't missing. You are just winding down for the night in your own house. You are about to go into your own bed, aren't you? You're pretty tired, and Homer is already asleep. You need to solve this mystery in the morning. So on the bottom of this page, it says, turn to the next page. I'm going to show you the picture. You can see it. It's kind of spooky in here. Rise and shine, buddy. This is the dog speaking. This is Homer. You look up from your pillow. Oh, it's Homer. He's wearing a goofy cowboy hat left over from Halloween. Saddle up. We're hitting the trail, Homer says. You can barely recognize the voice. He sounds like a Hollywood cowboy. You might as well humor him until he gets over his silliness. We're already late, he adds. Late for what, you ask? A coiled metal spring falls from the ceiling and bounces against your bedspread. Your eyes pop wide open. You are not at home in your bedroom. You are in a strange purple room with portholes and gears. Your desk and computer still sit next to your bed, but maybe you are missing. Right, it says turn to the next page. I received a new assignment. The next great mystery, our super excellent adventure. We're on the way to clear out the next haunted house. That's what Homer said. Homer prances around like popcorn in a hot pan. What? Next haunted house, you ask? Homer seems to be taking charge. We, mainly me, found out about, have been invited by the Interplanetary Society for Haunted Things. Homer scratches his side with his left leg. To investigate, he finishes. Great! Where is it, you ask, intrigued? Well, there are 2. You get to choose. We, you say. You don't like Homer being so bossy. There is an old mansion in England with 60 bedrooms. It has a great hall with a fireplace as wide as a car. The house sits on hundreds of acres of land and forests. It has been cursed, so no one lives there. It's called Montague Hall. He pauses, and you nod. Sounds like a perfect scary house. The other, you ask? The other is a palace in the jungle of Thailand. It was once the center of a Thai king from the Rama dynasty. People say it is haunted by elephant ghosts that keep people from living there or using it. Big danger. All right, so here's the part where we get to make a decision. So you ready, Miss Liz?
Yes.
If you choose to investigate Montague Hall, turn to page 6. And if you choose to go to Thailand and the ancient Rama Palace, go to page 10. Which one would you like to do?
That's a really hard decision to make because both seem very intriguing. But I'm going to pick Thailand.
Thailand?
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
really interested to see about the ancient stuff.
All right, let me get, so we turn to page 10. And Homer and you find yourselves in a contraption called the Saco Skidder. It is a cross between a time machine and an airplane. So you end up in Thailand and you look at Homer. What a great dog, you think. He is your closest friend, plus he knows a lot. He thinks he's a walking Wikipedia. So Homer, here we are in the Saco Skidder heading to Thailand and some lost palace. What do you know? What do you know, he replies. Thailand used to be called Siam, but that changed hundreds of years ago. It was a wonderful country. The Mekong River runs through it. So does the Chao Phraya. Now you're going to have to bear with me because I don't know how to pronounce some of these. The Rama kings have been around since 1782. Kings, you ask? There are kings today? So now we're turning to page 12. Actually, the current king is Rama IV, or King Bhumibol. He does not actually rule, but the people love him and follow his advice. Homer scratches a flea and yawns. It's been a long day. Bump, splotch, zonk. Your Saco Skidder transport comes to rest in a jungle clearing. There is no pilot. It is programmed to take you where you want to go. Time to go out. It's time to find the hidden, forgotten palaces and temples of the early Rama kings. The jungle is thick and smells of rare flowers. Yippee! Screeches come from the cluster of monkeys. They swing from trees and rush into the jungle right past you. Next, you hear the sounds of bulldozers with trumpets. It must be elephants. Elephants were the old battle wagons of ancient Siam. They were ferocious fighters. They are rumored to protect the old temple and the palace that you are visiting. You need to run for it, but where? All right, it says turn to page 18. Out of nowhere, a small child appears and tugs at your hand. His skin is golden brown, and he wears a torn white shirt and black shorts. They are torn too, and old. He is barefoot. Follow me, he says in English. I'll get you to safety. The elephants are angry. Homer eyes the small boy and says, I don't know. I think we're better off on our own. What's your name? You ask the boy. Pong, he replies, and I have a brother named Ding and a sister named Song. You'll like them. We live in the palace. All right, here's where you get to make another choice. If you decide to follow the boy, turn to page 21. If you decide that Homer is right, then you say thanks to Pong and off you go on your own. Who knows who Pong is? Is he pretending to be friendly? Maybe he's an evil spirit or a ghost. So if you choose to go with Homer's choice, you go to page 24.
I feel like I kind of want to follow the boy because I'm curious, but at the same time, we know that Homer does know a lot. So I think we're going to listen to Homer.
You're going to listen to Homer?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to turn to page 24. You know, Homer, old boy, you might just be right. To trust is good, but sometimes asking questions first is better. You reach down and scratch Homer on the head. No time to waste. Let's make tracks, he says. Homer talks to you in normal English, but only you can hear the English. To everyone else, he just barks and woofs. Wham! You smack right into a huge tree trunk. Wait a minute. It isn't a tree trunk. It's an elephant leg. The elephant doesn't move. You freeze right where you are. Maybe the elephant didn't notice. Then its trunk swings back and forth in a slow arc. It touches your head. It feels like a pat on the head. Could it be friendly? Elephant moves its huge head down to look at you eye to eye. Its huge brown eyes look warm and friendly. You know there is no anger or meanness here. Talk to him, Homer. Talk to him in your language. I can speak your language, the elephant says. As he speaks, 3 other elephants move in a circle around you. You are amazed how silent they can be. We need help, the first elephant says. Maybe you can come to our aid. What is the problem, you ask? Homer is listening very carefully. Illness has fallen on our herd. The young ones are sick, and we fear they will die. Maybe you can bring us medicine. All right, here's another choice for us. The first choice is if you and Homer get in the Saco speeder and return home to get medicine, turn to page 5. Or if you and Homer decide to visit the sick elephants first, turn to page 54.
Let's go with going home for medicine.
Going home for medicine?
Yeah.
All right, so that is page 45. We'll be back, you tell the elephants, and you and Homer rush through the jungle until you get to the clearing. The speeder is gone. What to do? Homer, where is it, you ask? I programmed it for invisibility. He snaps his paws 3 times, and the speeder appears ready to go. Sometimes Homer is amazing, like right now. Off you zoom. In mere seconds, you are back home. Homer's vet listens to your amazing story, packs a bag, and joins you to return to Thailand and the elephants. We're back, you shout, climbing out of the Saco speeder. The lead elephant nods his head in recognition. We knew you would return. You are a person who keeps a promise. Welcome. The vet goes to the sick baby elephants, analyzes the illness, and treats them. In 2 days, they begin to get well. The trip was worth it. This was not really a haunted palace after all. The end. All right, if you enjoyed this story as much as we did, you can come into the library and pick out your own Choose Your Own Adventure. We'd be happy to help you find one that works for you. Thanks for listening. Happy reading.